All right, let's start with perfect squares. What's the very first perfect square? How much? 1. There you go. Because 1 times 1 is 1. What's the next perfect square? 4. Because 2 times 2 is 4. What's the next one? 9. 3 times 3. 16 is 4 times 4. 25 is 5 times 5. 36 is 6 times 6. Let's do one more. Not 42. 7 times 7. 49. There you go. All right, take your calculator. You ready? All right, you're going to take 54 and see which one of those is the biggest number that divides into 44 without a decimal. So which one you got? Nine. There you go. All right, so what's 54? What number times what number? 9 times 6. There you go. But you've got to have the number that's on this list, okay? You can't just have 2 random numbers. So we're going to rewrite 54 as 9 times 6. But we do letters differently. What number do we always divide letters by? Remember? 2. Because this is a square root, and square root means 2. So what's 8 divided by 2? P to the 4th. There you go. All right, and then 9 is on that list. So what's the square root of 9? What number times what number was 9? 3. So it's 3p to the 4, and I can't do anything with the 6. So he stays inside, and that's it. All right, what do you notice about 16 on number 10? He's already on the list, yeah. So what's he get to come out as? 4. Perfect. All right, now can you divide 11 by 2 without it being a fraction? No, so we got to split it up. What's the biggest even number under 11 that divides into 2? 10. There you go. All right, but look, if somebody takes $1 from you, somebody took one of your T's, you only have 10 of them now. If somebody takes $1 from you, you're going to be ticked, right? So how many more do I need to still have that 11? You got to have one more, because 10 and 1 is 11. And so now this 10 gets to come out as what? What's 10 divided by 2? 5. So it's 4t to the 5 square root of t. All right, 72. So you got to find one of those numbers. So take 72, divide it, and which one's the biggest one that divides? 36. Perfect. 36 gives you 2, okay? All right, so we're going to break up 72 as 36 times 2. All right, when you got several of them, it helps a lot of times to write an X through some of them so that you know which ones you've dealt with, okay? You don't need to, but it just helps. All right, can you divide 2 by 2?
Yes.
Yeah, what do you get? You get j to the 1. Perfect. Do you have to write the 1? Nope. All right, can you divide 15 by 2? Nope, so you got to break it up. What's the even number under 15? 14? But you still have to have all $15. You don't want somebody to take one from you. So you got to have one more. 14 and 1 is 15. All right, 36 is on that list. What's he get to come out as? 6. 2's not on the list. I can't take him out. K to the 14. Can I divide 14 by 2?
Yes.
What you get? 7. All right. Which one of these comes first, J or K in the alphabet? So J to the 1, K to the 7. And then what 2 things are left inside because I didn't mark them out? 2 and K. Perfect. Here we got one more, guys. All right, we didn't make our list long enough, but 200 is easy. What's the perfect square that goes into 200? 100. There you go. 100 times what is 200? There you go. There you go. All right, W to the 10. He gets to come out. What's 10 divided by 2? 5. Perfect. All right, what about X to the 3rd? Can I divide 3 by 2? Nope, so you got to break him up. What's the even number under 3? 2, and then one more, makes 3. All right, what about Y to the 4? What's he get to come out as? Y to the 2. There you go. All right, here we go. 100 gets to come out as what number? 10. This is really going to help if you mark out some stuff on this one, guys, okay? We got to do these letters in alphabetical order. So we got W, we have Y, and we have X. Which one comes first in the alphabet? W. There you go. We got Y and we got X. Which one comes next in the alphabet? X. There you go. So that comes out as just X to the 1. And then Y to the 2. And then what two things are left inside? 2X. There you go. The only thing that's going to be on this test in a few weeks is going to be those two things, factoring and square roots. Okay, ACT. ACT, we're doing 17 and 18. 17 and 18. All right, we had a study session on Saturday, okay? We had a study session on Saturday. And let me give you one of the tips that we talked about, okay? So you're going to your ACT. Your next ACT is October 28th. If you haven't already signed up for it, it's a little too late, but there's another one on December 9th, okay? So you're driving to the ACT that morning, and what you need to do when you drive there is you need to pick a letter of the day, okay? Letter of the day, meaning whatever letter you want to pick. If you don't know how to work out a problem, you pick that same letter every single time if you don't know how to work out a problem. Because probability tells you that if you pick the same letter every single time, you're bound to get a couple of them right. Does that make sense to everybody? All right, so you're looking at 17 and 18, and you're like, I'm trying. My time's almost up, but I don't know how to do those two problems. So you pick a random letter. Everybody have the same letter that they want to pick in their head. Pick a letter, any letter. You got it? All right, we got two problems. So how long are you going to get? 2 minutes. Don't start yet. Don't cheat. Don't cheat. 3, 2, 1, go. 17 and 18. You try those two. 17 and 18. All right, time's up. Okay, so when are we going to go over these two? Tomorrow. We'll go over these two tomorrow, okay? All right, so here's what we're going to do next. We are starting a new section, but it is extremely easy. So hopefully be a good grade for you. quiz and 2 tests out of this section, okay? So let's talk about what your quiz is going to be on. You ready? The very first learning target. You can state the dimensions, you can solve equations, and you can add and subtract matrices. All that's going to be on your quiz, okay? Which we'll take later this week because it's very easy. This whole thing is going to be what your first test is on. And if you go to the very, very back, flip all the way on the back page. All the way on the back page. What do you have? Perfect cube, okay? So we're going to wait a while to take this test, but we are going to have perfect cubes. So what did we have last quarter as our test? Not perfect cubes. Perfect squares, right? Notice how we have been using them every single day since then. So perfect cubes we're going to use later on. And if you don't know them, hopefully you take it seriously because you're going to have to use them later on. So we have to know our perfect cubes, all right? So here we go. We'll start with the very first thing. Extremely easy. Y'all ever been to a concert or to a play or something like that and you get a ticket and it says your seat is like section G, row, whatever? You know what I'm talking about? Okay, so this stuff is the same thing. This is dimensions. If you like computers, if you like computer programming, matrices are like the very, very basics of computer programming. Okay, so here's what you need to know. It's row by column, okay? Row by column. Gotta know that. Row by column. We're going to do everything by hand first for our quiz, but then after that, we're going to be using our calculators like every single day. So if you haven't gotten your own calculator yet, you really, really need to invest in one of those. Okay, so here we go. Rows are from left to right, just like we read a book. Columns are just like your columns on your front porch. They're up and down. Just like domain and range was way back when, okay? All right, so look right here. You've got how many rows left and right? How many? 2 left and right. Make sure you put that X. We don't put the dot. We put the time. Just like you've seen on the side of a truck, it says 4x4. Or when you go to the lumber store and you buy lumber, it's a 2x2 or something like that. It's got this X in there. All right, how many up and down columns do we have? 3. And that's it. You just wrote the dimensions. That's all you got to do. But it's important because when we learn how to do our calculator, you've got to tell your calculator the right dimensions, okay? All right, let's look at number 12. Let's go down. How many rows does this one have? 4 left and right. And then how many up and down do we have? 3. There you go. That's it. All right, what about 14? How many rows are there? 2. Make sure you write the X. And then how many up and down? 5. There you go. All right, number 11 right here. How many rows left and right? 3. How many columns up and down? 1. Perfect. All right, 13. How many rows left and right? 3. And how many columns up and down? 3. There you go. That's called a square matrix, by the way. Why is it called a square matrix? Because a square, why? There you go. It's the same number on both ones. Very good. All right, what about 15? How many left and right rows do we have? 3. And then up and down? 2. Perfect. That's it. That's it. That's all you got to do. Feel okay? All right, 16. Here we go. 16. Y'all know how to solve an equation already. That's not really what I need you to do on this stuff right here. What I need you to do here is make sure you can match up the right numbers for what we're about to do next. All right, 2x. He's on the left-hand side of the matrix, right? Look on this other one that it equals. What number is also on the left-hand side? 5. So you're going to say 2x is equal to 5. Divide by 2. And what's x equal? 2.5. There you go. Perfect. All right, then you got 3. 3's in the middle. What other one over here is in the middle? 3y. So you got 3 equals 3y. Divide by 3. And y equals how much? 1. Perfect. All right, last one. You got 3z. 3z is on the right. Which one over here is on the right? 9. So 3z equals 9. Divide by 3. And how much does z equal? 3. Perfect. Okay? All right, what about 17? That's it. That's all you got to do. It says solve. That's it. We solved all letters. All right, what about 17? You got 4x's on the left, right? On the other side, which one's on the left? 12. So you got 4x is equal to 12. Divide by 4. And x equals how much? 3. Perfect. All right, we got one more. 3y's on the right. What other number is on the right? -1. So you got to be careful on this one, guys. You ready? When you divide by 3, that says 1 divided by 3. If you type that in your calculator, you're going to get a decimal. So how do I rewrite that to make it very, very easy? Instead of a decimal, -1/3. Very good. -1/3. Perfect. Perfect.
Did you get a decimal?
Give it soft, so I can use that one. If you divide 1 by 3, you get 0.333. All right, 18. Here we go. So you got 4x's in the top row. What else is in the top row over here? 15 plus x. You see how those are combined together with a plus sign? So you got 4x equals 15 plus x. Very good. All right, so you would subtract the x. What's 4x minus x? 4x minus x? 3x. Oh, that'd be 5, yeah. Divide by 3, and what's x equal? 5. There you go. Yep. All right, what's the other one? What's 5 equal? 2y minus 1. You notice how they're connected together with that minus sign? All right, y'all try that one real quick. See what you can get. Try that one real quick. All right, what'd y'all get? Y equals 3. Perfect. There you go. There you go. All right, 19's a little different. You ready? So, do you see how the 4x and the 3 are connected by a subtract sign? All right, so they're in the top row on the left-hand side. So which one am I going to set it equal to over here? 9. There you go. So you got 4x minus 3 equals 9. All right, take just a second real quick and figure out what x equals. Figure out what x equals on that one. What'd y'all get? 3. Perfect. Okay, what about 3y? 3y is on the top row, but he's on the right-hand side. So what am I going to set him equal to? -15. There you go. So what would I get on this one? -5. Perfect. All right, so the directions told you to solve, right? That means you had to have a letter. So look at this bottom row right here, 7. Does that 7 have a letter? What's it equal to over here, though? 7. Does that have a 7? Does that have a letter? No, so you got 7 equals 7. Is there anything to solve there? Is there anything to do? No, there's no letter. Okay, what about 13? 13 doesn't have a letter. But what is he equal to on this side? 2z plus 1. That one does have a letter, okay? So we're going to say 13 equals 2z plus 1. Yep, because all it wanted you to do was solve for the letters, and since there wasn't a letter, there's nothing to do. Alright, so we're going to subtract the 1. Divide, and what do we get? 6. Perfect. That's it. Y'all okay? Yeah? Okay. Alright, let's flip over to the next page. Alright, if you look up on the board up there, your next learning target is the third one. What's the third learning target say we're going to do? Over here on the right hand side. Or the left hand side, right over here. What does it say? You can add and subtract matrices. Okay, here's what you need to write. You ready? Make yourself a big note at the top of it. Alright. Must be the same dimensions. That means they have to have the same rows and they have to have the same columns. Okay, the same number. In order to add and subtract them, they have to be the same dimensions. Alright, so look at the directions, right here on the directions. If they are not the same, what does the direction say we have to call them? Impossible, right? So look at number 1. Are those exactly the same size? Yes. Alright, so look at that first number, 6. 6 is in that top row. So what number over here am I going to add him with? -4. So what's 6 plus -4? +2. Notice how I have brackets around it? Because that's how you do matrices, okay? Alright, what's the middle number is -5. What am I going to add with him over here? 3. What's -5 plus 3 go? -2. Notice, guys, how I leave enough room between the two of them so that it doesn't look like 2 minus 2, okay? Alright, 9 on the very right-hand side. What am I going to add him with? 2. What's 9 plus 2? 11. And notice how I'm going to close that bracket, okay? Pretty easy stuff. Alright, right down here. -3. He's on the bottom row. What I'm going to add him with? 6, which gives you +3, okay? We're going to learn how to do this by hand first, and then we're going to use our calculators to be able to make our calculator do the work for us. All right, what about -4? What am I going to add him with? 9, and what's -4 plus 9? +5, there you go. Perfect. And then what about +5? What are you going to add him with? -4, what's it give you? Perfect. Y'all okay? All right, number 2. What operation am I doing on number 2? You're going to subtract. Are they the same size? You can't subtract them unless they're the same size.
Yes.
Yeah, they are. There you go. So you've got 8 subtract -4. So you're going to type that in your calculator. 8 subtract -4. How much do you get? +12. There you go. All right, see if you can finish out and find the other 3 numbers, okay? Find the other 3 numbers. You got 12. All right, what'd you get for the other number on the top row? 12 and what?
4.
And 4. Perfect. 12 and 4. Keep going, find those bottom 2 numbers. All right, what'd you get on the bottom 2 numbers? -12 and 6. Very good. Y'all okay? All right, here we go. Let's look at number 3. What operation does it want us to do on number 3? Addition? Can I do that? Can I add them? Why? Because they're the same size, right? Okay, so y'all try number 3 real quick. See if you can add those for the same size. So that means that it's legal to add them. Go ahead and add them and see if you get those 4 numbers. All right, with just the top row. What'd you get for just the top row? 12 and 1. Perfect. You notice how I left enough space between the two of them? What'd you get on the bottom row? What numbers? Negative 12 and 1. Perfect. All right, what about number 4? What operation does it want you to do on 4? All right. Can you subtract those? Why? Not the same dimensions. There you go. So we're going to say it impossible. Okay. Notice that we didn't say no solution. There's a difference between no solution and impossible. No solution implies that there is actually an imaginary solution, which we're going to get to in chapter 4. Okay. All right. Number 5. Number 5 is just a little bit bigger, but y'all see if you can try number 5. Okay. See if you can try number 5. Check your first row. Notice how I left enough space between them so it doesn't look like 13 minus 7 minus 1, okay? Make sure they're all separate numbers. There's your second row. Check your answers on your second row. All right, so notice, guys, on number 6, we're not adding and subtracting anymore. What's number 6 tell us to do? You're going to multiply, right? So are you multiplying by a matrix, or are you just multiplying by a number? By a number, right? So all you do is just multiply all those numbers by negative 4, and that's it, okay? So we don't call that impossible. We're just multiplying everything by negative 4. All right, so what's negative 4 times negative 12? Positive 48. What's negative 4 times 6? Negative 24. Notice how I left enough space between the two of them, okay? All right, try the rest of them. See what you can get for the other 6 numbers. Multiply every number by negative 4. right, what'd you get for the other two numbers on your top row? Negative 60 and negative 16. Perfect. Good job, guys. I told y'all this stuff was easy. Finish out that bottom row. Alright, what y'all getting for that bottom row, guys? Yeah? Wait, hold on. 24 and then what? 52? Yeah, that's right. Positive 36, yeah? Negative 32. Perfect. Y'all okay? Alright, here we go. We're going to do 8 and 10, 8 and 9 together. We're going to do these two together. So what does it take to do right here? What's 4C mean? There you go. Multiply 4 by matrix C that they gave you right here. Now look, guys, this is your notes, okay? So you might want to write this down so that way when you're doing your homework tonight, you see what happened, okay? I know that most of you can multiply 4 without having to write this down. But just so that you can have something to look back at, let's go ahead and do this. Alright, then go ahead and multiply everything in there by 4 and see if you can get your answer. We're almost done, and then I've got a couple of us that can finish our test for Friday. Alright, what'd you get when you multiply them? What's 8 times 32? There you go. 8, yeah. Perfect. There you go. What about the bottom row? Yeah. What's the last one? There you go. Perfect. Alright, now 9 you got to be careful of. You ready? What are we doing on the first one? What's the first one? Multiply matrix A by how much? 7. There you go. Alright, now look. We're going to subtract. You're not multiplying by negative 2, okay? What are we going to multiply by? We're going to multiply by 2. And then once we do that, what are we going to do after that? Subtract. So multiply by 2, not negative 2. Multiply by 2. Okay, by matrix B. Alright, so let's do this together. What's 7 times 0? 0. What's 7 times negative 7? Negative 49. What's 7 times 8? 56. And what's 7 times 12? 84. There you go. Then we're not going to multiply by negative 2. We're going to multiply by positive 2. So what's 2 times 11? 22. What's 2 times 4? 8. 2 times negative 3? Yeah. Add 2 times negative 17. Perfect. And then what are we going to do with those two matrices? We're going to subtract them. There you go. Alright, subtract them real quick. See if you can get those numbers. And then 7 and 10 are your homework. 7 and 10 are your homework. And then several of us have tests that we gotta finish with, right? Ramiro, did you finish your test from Friday? Yeah? Mallory, did you finish your test? No, Jenny, did you finish your test? Hunter, did you finish your test? Brad, did you finish yours? You can go ahead and start on 7 and 10. You don't have homework tomorrow, okay? Number 10 on those three variables, that was your homework. That was due Friday. So if you haven't turned that in, I'm going to hand those out real quick. But if you haven't turned yours in, you could be working on that. Since it's the first homework is 10%. It's going to drop your grade 10 points if you don't turn it in, okay? Nathan, what's your name, baby? Or you can come like about 7 o'clock, get here a little early, and